What is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Simone Raider back with another video, and I know you guys have been wondering, where the fuck have you been at this whole week? Well, Raider Nation, don't worry, I was out of town for the week, had a little vacay, so forgive your boy, but I'm back today previewing the Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts pregame preview. Now, the Raiders are 1-2 and the Colts are 2-1, and we're gonna really need to win this game by any means. I don't know why. After being, let down after these past 2 weeks, I still am energized to watch another Raider game and hopefully, just hopefully, win this game because I still have faith in this team until this season's over. But that's besides the point. So, without further ado, Raider Nation, let's get started with this week 4 pregame preview.
You tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Now the Oakland Raiders head into Indianapolis after losing back-to-back games to the Chiefs and the Vikings. The Raiders looked great in the season opener against Denver, but have not looked the same since then. After dropping to 1-2 on the season, many questions surrounding the nation have been whether or not Derek Carr is the quarterback of the future. The team will have to bounce back in a big way to gain the respects of not only the fans, but also the rest of the league. The Colts, on the other hand, have surprised the league with how well they've played without quarterback Andrew Luck. Brissett and company are 2-1 heading into week 4 and don't look to slow down. With all the odds stacked up against Oakland, this game is a must win. Now it's time for your Nation News. First up on Nation News, Marquel Lee was placed on IR. He suffered an ankle injury during the Minnesota game and had to be helped off of the field during the game. And the injury seemed to be more serious than a lot of us thought, and the Raiders ended up placing him on IR. With that move, the Raiders ended up signing linebacker Dakota Prescott from the Rams practice squad. Another last chance U star on the team. As you guys know, we did have Ronald Ali, and you know what happened to him. Gruden has some nice things to say about Dakota Allen, saying, "We signed Dakota Allen, a linebacker off the Rams practice squad who we liked. We saw him play and practice against us. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of life in his legs. He's a contact player. He's got some range. He's a physical player, just needs a chance. And hopefully he cashes in on this opportunity." And speaking of chances, he might have a chance to play this Sunday with all the injuries going around the linebacker room. And hopefully he makes the most of his opportunities on this squad, because me, a guy that really likes the underdog story, I hope he comes on this team and makes plays this Sunday. Hopefully, he could be a great linebacker for the future of this team. Who knows? We'll see out there. And last bit of news, the Raiders released Ryan Grant. After the Raiders promoted linebacker Justin Phillips from the practice squad, the Raiders made room by releasing Ryan Grant. Due to his slow start on this team, it was easy for the Raiders to let him go. And after the Raiders did sign Trevor Davis last week, we are already stacked at the wide receiver position. And the funny thing is, right when we released him, guess who brought him in for a workout? The New England Patriots. I swear they're always trying to go after our wide receivers and do something with them. Look at the last receiver they picked up from us. Chucking up those deuces to Ryan Grant, thank you for your time, but it didn't last that long. Now to my favorite segment of the show, you guys know, is my neck and my back.
My neck and my back.
Play of the week. Now this week's play, I title it Flea Flicking to the Crib. Let's take a look.
And the flea flicker, Carr has an open receiver, and it's J.J. Nelson, and Nelson is in for the score.
Ooh, that was a great play, and probably the only highlight we really had throughout that whole game. So don't get me started with that Vikings game, bruh. But it was good to see that we dialed up some type of trick play, because it made our offense look kind of smart, which, if you really watch the game, you just watched the game. It was bad. Matchup of the game. So for this week's matchup, I don't have a specific player, but I have 2 specific groups that we need to highlight on both sides of the ball. It's the Raiders defensive line versus the Colts offensive line. As you guys know, the Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the league, and the Raiders did have that just a couple of years ago, but that's besides the point. The Colts do have a really great offensive line surrounding Jacoby Brissett, and the Raiders, their defensive line isn't all that, but they have had their fair shares of really great plays throughout the beginning of this year. Our Raiders defensive line has got to get to Jacoby Brissett. The main thing is getting into the heads of the opposing quarterbacks, and we haven't done that. And last week we let Kirk Cousins really just throw all over us. And all of that because we did not win in the trenches. The Raiders have got to do a great job winning in the trenches, and I know it's going to be a tough challenge for this defensive line, and we got to get under Jacoby Brissett's skin and make him throw when he doesn't want to, and hopefully ending up in an interception, because we haven't had an interception all season long so far. And if we want to have any chance of winning this game, we first have to win in the trenches. Storylines of the game. As you guys know, I have 3 storylines heading into this game against the Indianapolis Colts. First storyline is Derek Carr the guy? As I said earlier, many people around the Raider Nation have started to question whether Derek Carr is the answer moving forward. It's hard to argue due to Carr's struggles as of late, not to make plays or even slinging the ball down deep. This might not be entirely Carr's fault due to the outdated / conservative play calling by Gruden, but all in all, Carr is the leader of the team, and if he wants to shift the narrative, winning on Sunday is a must. Number 2, the X Factor. As you guys already know, Darren Waller is the X Factor on this team. Waller has proved to be the best kept secret in the NFL. With all the hype on Hard Knocks surrounding the talented tight end, Waller has been nothing but spectacular, racking up 26 receptions for 267 yards in 3 games, leading the Raiders in both receptions and yards. He has definitely become Carr's favorite target. With the possibility of Colts linebacker Darius Leonard missing Sunday's game, look for Waller to have a solid day and hopefully find the end zone for the first time this year. And last but not least, number 3, the injury bug. The Colts are already without star safety Malik Hooker, but now you add 2 other stars in Darius Leonard and T.Y. Hilton to likely miss Sunday's game. This can be Oakland's opportunity to execute on both sides of the ball. And trust me, if the Raiders can't get it done with all those players out, bruh. Now, players to watch. As you guys know, I have 3 players to watch in this game. First up, none other than our quarterback, Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr has got to step up this week. Last week, he did not do a great job finding his receivers, and he got picked off in the game, and he got sacked, and I know that gets to him throughout the game, but he's got to be the leader and just shrug those things off his shoulder and make plays down the field. The play calling might not be the greatest, but if he's a great quarterback and want to be a leader on this team, he's got to go out there and execute and show why he should be the franchise quarterback of this team. Number 2, Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs has been dealing with illness for these past 2 games and these past 2 weeks and has been limited with his carries and whatnot, but he's got to step up in this game, and the Raiders has got to feed him and not take him out the game too many times. And I know he probably needs an IV, you know, because he's getting winded out there, but Josh Jacobs has got to be the main back of this team, and if we want to take any load off of Derek Carr, we've got to keep feeding Josh Jacobs and maybe scheme some plays to hopefully have Josh Jacobs break out for some big yardage or even score a touchdown. And number 3, Darren Waller. Like I said, Darren Waller is the X Factor and is Derek Carr's #1 weapon, especially with all the check down plays that Derek Carr has been doing. Darren Waller is going to have to be that guy to make plays and hopefully find the end zone for the first time this week. And like I said earlier, the Colts do have a lot of injuries on their defense, so I hope to see Darren Waller out there and make some big plays on this offense. As you guys all know, this offense does need a lot of help, so we can use them. So that is it, Raider Nation. Man, it feels good to finally be back, but I'm excited for this week's game. Hopefully we get the W because we really need it, or else the nation's gonna go crazy. And like I said, it's not gonna get any easier. We're still gonna be on the road, and we got the Chicago Bears in London next week. So but with that said, Raider Nation, am I missing anything? Is there anything that you want to say about this game or any thoughts that you guys have? Drop it down in the comments below and let your boy know. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button because I would gladly appreciate it, and it'll go far for this channel. And if this is the first time you're watching this channel or the first time you ever heard of the Samoan Raider, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. Without further ado, Raider Nation, until the next video, and hopefully after the win on Sunday, this is your boy Samoan Raider, and your boy is, yeah.